Huh? Travis? I'm taking a break. Heh, this is easy. I'll just cut this cable. Hey, hold on!
Trouble Busters!
My name is Alan. I'm a blue-collar worker who's a great man. But somehow, I don't have luck with girls. But I'm grateful to work with such wonderful colleagues. However... Huh? Travis? I'm taking a break. It's part of our rules to have us all take a break together. That's just your logic, kiddo. Back in my days, blah, 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 blah. Oh, he's starting it again. There's nothing that could ever stop him from bragging about when he was younger. This is why I hate kiddos like you. Travis? I don't know what to tell you talking to me. Alan? Okay, we'll all take a break then. Okay. What's wrong with Travis? He's the newest of our team. What makes him think he can behave like that? It's okay. But then, if he has experience in the industry, I wish he would be more understanding with the rules. But since I'm the leader of this team, I need to guide him better. Okay, let's resume. Wait, where's Travis? Alan, did you tell Travis to handle something? Huh? That's strange. What's the matter, Wayne? Well, I saw Travis at the site. What? He said that you told him to handle something. No, I didn't tell him anything. Are you serious? So he lied to me. Where is he right now? He's at the main floor. He's trying to handle something on his own. Oh, God! I told him so many times that he can't work on his own. He can't possibly do this. Heh, there's no point in getting trained. This is easy. This cable is in my way. Who the heck did such a poor job? I'll just cut this cable. Hey, hold on! Oh, no! Huh? Oh, my goodness, Travis, what have you done? Huh? I'm handling the construction, can't you tell? I can tell, and that's why I'm concerned. This is bad! You're exaggerating. I know what I'm doing. No, you don't! Do you even realize what you just cut? It's the main power source for this entire building! It was getting in my way of doing the construction. I'll just fix it later. This isn't like building a plastic figure. I've been doing this ever since you were a single-celled organism. I told you not to handle things on your own so many times, and I even explicitly said that you were only going to be watching how we handle things today. You're only... Back in my day, I used to learn as I worked. Construction workers are supposed to learn by being hands-on. There's no point in using our brain. It doesn't work like that. Okay. I know kids like you just want to act as if you know what you're doing, but I'm not here to listen to what you tell me. Well, you don't know what you're doing, and that's why this is happening. What are you going to do? You're going to have to take liability for this. Isn't that in your pay grade? That's not something that I should be concerned about. Huh? I'll fix it right now. This means we don't have any problem. Just watch and see how I fix this. Well, I can't trust what you say, especially not after you cut the most important cable for this building, and... Shut up! I'm not gonna tolerate you if you're gonna get in my way. Alan, I'm getting a complaint from the client. Oh, I'm so sorry, George. See, this is taking longer than it should because you're getting in my way. No, that's not the problem at this point. I know how to be responsible for my own actions. You just need to focus on your own tasks. You're such a kiddo. What did you just say? I've been trying to be respectful to him only because he's older than me, but I've had enough of this. I'm not letting him get away with this. Trouble Busters. George, let me tell you what happened. So, how are you gonna be responsible for this? Oh, if it's about the building, the problem has already been taken care of. If only that kiddo didn't get in my way, I could have solved the problem faster. What do you mean? You have to listen to me, George. That red-headed kiddo tried to kick me out of the site and get in my way while I was working. I know he's been working here for longer, but I've been working for this industry longer. This means that I'm superior to him, and you need to teach him the rules in this industry. I wonder who needs to watch and learn. Are you guys cleaning out your ears right now? No, it's more like a poor electrical contact in this conversation. What's the problem? I was explaining because I was told to. Look, what we're talking about is the fact that you went ahead and tried to handle the task when you weren't certified to do so. Huh? Certified? What are you gonna do about this? Oh, what's the problem? Why do I have to be certified to handle construction? The skills are the only thing that's necessary for this job, and you guys already know this. Travis, you're the one who seems like you don't know what you should already know. Are you being serious right now? I'm always serious. Have you ever heard of electric construction law? Huh? Electric? You should know this. I've verbally explained this to you, and it's also on the manual that I handed to you. You seem to be listening to my training as if you didn't even want to hear it, though. Just cut to the point. What are you trying to say? So, let me go ahead and explain it to you one more time, since my words have only been going in from your right ear and straight out from your left. We work for the electric construction industry. There are laws that we need to follow to prevent any accidents happening during the construction process. Huh? So what? You really weren't listening, were you? Are you currently constructing your eardrums? This means that by law, some of the tasks that can be complicated or risky can only be taken care of by those who are certified to handle the task. In this case, the task you were handling needed to be handled by a certified electrician or a certified construction engineer. Travis, you're not certified, correct? I told you that certificates have nothing to do with us construction workers. Just answer my question by telling me whether you do or you don't have the certification. I don't mind listening to your construction worker philosophy later on when we're cleaning up or something. You're not even willing to pay me undivided attention. Just give me a yes or no. Give me your truth. Well, I guess the answer would be a no. Oh boy. So what if I didn't have the certificate? I could still do my job without it. I've been working like this all my career. I've never been protected by law a single time.
And that's the exact problem.
What?
Do you recall what your job duties were for today?
Yeah, the maintenance for the building, right? Electric construction.
Watch and learn how the maintenance was being done precisely. I explained this to you in person yesterday.
So what? I was just trying to be proactive about what I could handle. Back in my day, standing around and watching would mean that I'm gonna lose my job right then. Do you understand why you were supposed to be only watching? Ha! That's because you guys have no idea what I'm capable of. Or maybe you were scared that I'd take the credit just like I did today. There are always shady people like you, back then and now. It's because it's illegal to make someone who's not certified to handle tasks that require certification. Huh? Why would it be illegal? Certifications are there to certify people who obtain the skills to handle dangerous tasks in a safe manner. Since you're not certified, you're simply not allowed to handle the task that you handled today. What you've done has violated the law. Do you understand what I'm saying? No! I don't understand a single thing you're saying. There weren't such laws back in the days. Well, the electric construction law was passed about 80 years ago in our country. If you're gonna tell me that this law wasn't around back in your day, you must be breaking the world record for being the longest living human being. Shut up! I'm telling you that it wasn't there, which means it wasn't there. I've been working this way and I never wrote a single lie on my resume. You could go ahead and take a look at it. If I wasn't lying, you better give me the apology that's already past due at this point. I'm sure you're not lying. What? I'm saying that you're probably not lying. Oh, do you finally admit it, kiddo? Now you better get on the ground to apologize. That's the biggest problem. The problem is in your head. Guys, bring it on. What is it? Are you guys also here to watch him get on the ground to apologize to me? Travis, we went ahead and looked into your history. What? You started working for Nueve Cabeza Constructions for a while after you graduated high school, right? And ever since you quit that job about 20 years ago, you've been working as a contract employee at different construction sites. And you started working at our company, Trubus Construction, earlier this year. That's right, so what? Are you accusing me of falsifying my career? There's nothing false in my resume. You mentioned that you left Nueve Cabeza because of interpersonal issues there. That's right. Those bastards had no idea what to do without me. Okay, that's enough bragging. You've bragged 10,000 times already. Just listen to it. Give us a break. We're sick and tired of your bragging. After you left Nueve Cabeza, they ended up getting sued and they went out of business. See? I knew they had no idea what they were doing without me. And there goes that for the 10,001st time. Nothing has changed. The reason is simple. Nueve Cabeza had a gray, unscrupulous company that they worked with. I'm sure it was common back in that era, and there's no point in discussing that further. But you would already know what the point is, right? That company had been allowing electrical construction for those who weren't certified, including yourself, Travis. This means that the entire business was illegal. That's why they were sued, and they ended up going out of business. Huh? Illegal? No one ever told me that it was illegal. Well, even if your previous workplace had been conducting illegal business, it's actually common sense for anyone who works in this industry. If you're going to take so much pride as a construction worker, it's something that you should have known. Hey, why are you telling me this now? You should have told me sooner. This was one of the very first things that I went over when I was giving you the training session. But you looked very annoyed about the fact that I was giving you that session. What's the point of explaining anything if I didn't seem to understand it? I explained it at least 10 times because you didn't look like you understood. And I was there 4 out of those 10 times. I was there 6 out of those 10 times. Besides, I was the one who explained it for one of those occasions. No, I don't know. If you couldn't get me to understand, there wasn't any point in any of those. Who are you to say that? Besides, this has nothing to do with what happened. There's no way that the law has nothing to do with this. I suggest you stop saying things in that nature. I'm telling you that we're here to talk about what happened with the construction site today. You already got in my way there. Are you trying to get in my way again? Back in my day, you wouldn't have gotten away by just apologizing. Back in the day and currently, I don't think you're allowed to break the law. Since when does this country allow outlaws like you? Shut up! As a fact, I've been working this way my entire career without causing any problems. I suffice for the role. You're not sufficing the requirement to be certified. How many times do I have to tell you this? Who knows exactly why Nueve Cabeza went out of business anyways? Anyone could come up with lies and rumors about a company that went out of business 20 years ago. That company failed because they lost me. I was their only true manpower. This time, too, I fixed the problem and you took the credit from me. He's the type of guy who would scramble everything on the table to start everything all over again. I would never want to play a board game with a guy like him. Let's go back to the subject, you credit thief. Well, to summarize, you have done everything on your own, Travis. Does that sound about right? That's right. I found the damage and I took care of it. This means that I took care of the problem. Are you sure about this? How many times do I have to tell you that this is the truth? All right, bring it on again. What? That again? If we go ahead and agree that you have taken care of the entire construction process on your own, I've been telling you to do so. He's so annoying. It would mean that you cut the main power source under your own discretion, correct? That was the fastest way to take care of the problem. It would have taken centuries to fix that problem if I used a different method. Were you even paying attention during the meeting? Huh? That construction site was a large building that had multiple companies, and we received this inquiry from one of those companies. I know that. That company has been made aware that there were possibilities that the power may go out at one point. We made sure that they weren't handling any important tasks on the computers during the construction process as well. I said I know! And that only goes for that company. Huh? Going back to what we were talking about, this incident has caused a blackout for the entire building at one point. Although it was temporary, it took an hour before the power was back on in the building. This means that all companies inside that building were unable to conduct any business during that hour. You're making it sound like this was a big deal, but they could have taken care of other tasks during that time. I'm sure we're just flipping out because we got calls from those companies who were complaining, right? Who cares about that? They got to take an extra break hour. Back in my day, we used to say that we got lucky whenever there was a blackout. Maybe you're right. If only we were back in your day, Travis. We're not from that era, so I can't say things for sure, but I'd assume that most work was done on paper and meetings were held in person only. So most companies probably had their own ways of handling blackouts. Huh? Let me go ahead and explain things to make it easier for you to understand, Travis. Most companies manage their data and hold meetings on the internet in our current era. Yes, I said internet. So what exactly was the point you're trying to get at? The problem was fixed, and we don't deserve to listen to those complaints. Let us tell you about the contents of the complaints we received and the projected loss from this blackout then. ABC Company, damages to the computer data and backup files. DEF Cram School, online classes and orientations were interrupted in the middle of the session. HIG Corporation, online meeting delayed with an overseas business partner. This company had ultimately had their contract jeopardized because of the delay in the meeting. What the heck? There are a few dozen other complaints. The cleaning company for the building has also complained about the delay in their route because of the blackout. Our projected liability for this blackout is about $100,000. What? However... 1, 2, 3... Stop this, please! Travis, you said that the fastest way to resolve the issue was to drop the main power source, right? This is exactly the result of what you've done. Do you understand what I'm saying? We could have prevented all these complaints from happening if only we never dropped the main power source. But I fixed the problem! You keep saying that you fixed the problem, but we were the ones who ultimately fixed it for you. You were only supposed to be watching, so we made sure you were only watching after I caught you disconnecting the power source. This means that what you've done had been causing trouble to this entire universe. But I was planning on fixing that problem on my own. Don't you get it at this point? Alan isn't allowed to let you handle any of the tasks. It's because you're not certified. If the company allowed you to handle the task, the company would have been liable for all the damages that were caused. This was why we were insisting that you would only watch the process. If it was something so important, you guys should have explained it. We clearly explained it to you. I actually explained it to you 3 times just this morning. If you weren't listening to me on any of those times, that only tells about your work ethics. We wanted you to eventually handle tasks, so the company had been trying to arrange things to help you get certified, and also have the opportunity to watch and learn how those processes are properly taken care of. Properly taken care of? We should have been able to fix the issue without disconnecting the main power source for that building. What? That can't be possible. That problem was because there were so many cables back in my day. In current days, there are a lot of buildings that have as many cables as you saw at that building. More energy is being consumed year after year, and the cables are starting to become a lot more complex. Our job is to make sure we locate the problem without affecting the other cables that shouldn't end up being affected by the initial problem or the process of resolving that problem. Ugh. By the way, this isn't your first time being explained about this. Oh, shut up! If only you were getting it together, this wouldn't have happened! No, I explicitly told you that you were only supposed to watch and learn! Shut up! George, I'm the victim, right? What? I was sent to the site without being transitioned with my tasks, and I don't find it right that I was told not to do anything when I'm on the job. Besides, I had no idea what these guys were telling me, and they didn't care if I understood or not. It's their fault for just proceeding with things without confirming my clear understanding.
Are you saying that you weren't aware of any of this?
George, that's right! That's why I'm the victim! These guys have tricked me into this situation!
I understand where you come from.
In that case...
Will you explain to me why you decided to lie?
Huh? What lie?
You told Wayne that you were going to handle the task on your own because Alan had ordered you to do so.
Oh.
But that's strange. If you weren't aware of any of this, why did you have to tell such a lie? You should have just proceeded without knowing anything at all. What made you come up with the idea of blaming someone else for your action?
Alan has been pretty annoying about things, so I just decided to say that so I don't have to deal with him.
Oh, you recognize that he's been annoying about things, but you're saying that you don't remember the contents.
That's right. His words are just like noise to me.
In that case, you're saying that you're allowed to disregard your supervisor's orders. In that case, your work ethics will be evaluated to be lower than anyone else's.
Yikes!
Have you been realizing that every time you say that you didn't know or that you weren't made aware, you're bringing yourself down? Am I wrong? You entered the construction site without knowing what you were doing, and you chose to handle tasks without clearly understanding the rules. Even if the law had allowed you to do so, I wouldn't allow you to do so in my company. You even went around telling a lie just to do whatever you want and to blame others.
And it would still be a problem even if you were to admit that you understood everything that had been explained to you, too. That's right. Maybe I was exaggerating when I said that I didn't understand what was being explained to me. Besides, I took those actions because Alan has been harassing me. What? He's been looking down on me, telling me that I'm not certified. He's been threatening my dignity. Since I take pride in what I do, I wanted to show him that I knew what I was doing. Wait, hold on. Are you now saying that you understood everything that we've been explaining to you? That's not exactly what I said. It's just what? I knew I was only supposed to watch. Doesn't that mean that I wasn't supposed to be hands-on? So, you knew exactly what we asked you to do. I'm a construction worker. I'll rot if I don't keep my hands on the tasks. I work to construct, and it's been like this since back in the day, right, George?
Not really.
Oh,
Rules and regulations have always been in place back in the days, too. And a leader's decision was always something that everyone had to follow.
That might be true, but...
No buts. That's all there is to it. And that's why it's a rule. Because there are rules, the workers get to work safely and our clients can trust what we do. Don't tell me that you don't know any of these after the years of experience that you brag about. Let's go back to the subject. By the way, I've already made up my mind about your outcome even before we started this conversation.
Huh?
Whatever the reason was, it's a crime for an uncertified person to handle a task that requires a certificate. This means that I need to reconsider the contract that we have with ya.
Wait, no, please.
My only concern was whether this should be considered Alan's fault for his poor management skills. To my eyes, I've always thought that Alan had made sure he was clear with his communications, but I couldn't say for sure whether there had been anything at Alan's fault, since I'm not at the site every day with all of you.
Oh. And I had no say in that because I would only make myself look like I'm giving excuses if I were to explain things on my end. This was why I needed you to testify, Travis. Testify? That's right. Maybe I was exaggerating when I said that I didn't understand what was being explained to me. Oh. As you said in the beginning, if there were issues with the way I explained things to you, I could have been in trouble about this. But you testified yourself that you had bad intentions towards Alan as you did what you've done. You even lied to others to cause trouble to the site, not to mention that you also lied to us in this room, too.
This means that you proved for yourself that you've done everything under your own discretion. Since the company hasn't been at fault for this, you would know where the liability will be placed, right?
Oh. Thank you so much, Travis. You're taking all the responsibility, just as you said the moment you cut that cable. I never said that. The company should be liable for this damage. I'm just a worker here. I know how to be responsible for my own actions. You just need to focus on your own tasks. We also have evidence for that, too. Oh my goodness.
We'll go ahead and call the police.
We need to explain to them what happened. Oh, we're gonna be so busy. Let's all eat a nice dinner after we're done here. I could cook rice for all of us. Hold on, please. Yes, I need you to have mercy on me. I'm gonna be in huge trouble. There's no way I could pay a dozen of $100,000 liability. Besides, I'm gonna have a dirty record. How am I supposed to even pay off that debt? You never cared to listen when I told you. You said you weren't willing to a kiddo like me, right? Oh, that was just a small, innocent joke. You're gonna figure it out on your own. Everyone used to figure out their own problems back in the day, right? You've always said that things will go well as long as you're around and no one else knows what they're doing. What am I supposed to do? We went ahead and filed a police report after this long conversation. We had enough evidence and witnesses to prove that the company wasn't at fault, and Travis was found liable for all the damages that had been caused. He was also found guilty of the construction work that he had done without being certified. He was charged a large penalty, and he disappeared behind bars. My name is Nathan, and today is my first day working here. All right, I'll go ahead and start this training session. As for me, I'm assigned to train a new team member who joined us to replace Travis. Never handle a task if you're not certified. Let's all work hard to get certified. I'm going to put in all my effort to train my new team member to make sure I guide him in the right direction. Trouble Busters!